Continue our conversation with the president of California State University, Long Beach, Dr. F. King Alexander. I know you would share the view of so many that the miracle of California historically has been the availability of high quality, low cost higher education, and where the state is really putting that at risk.
Higher education's at risk, but also K-12 education's at risk. Yeah. I know the recent NEA statistics show that California's dropped to 45th in per pupil funding. And that's below Kentucky, that's below Alabama, South Carolina, West Virginia, much poorer states. And that really is the key. That has been the key to building California's economy, is a good K-12 system and a very accessible and high quality higher education system that has numerous choices for our students. And all of this has come under jeopardy under the current priorities that we're dealing with in the state of California.
Well, let's turn to another subject. This is some really good news, and I know this is something you've worked on for years. By the way, our guest has a PhD in higher education finance. He really is an expert in the area. It's so great to see a melding of academic training and having that position where you can use it. But you've been leading the battle for years to change the student loan program, and there was a big victory this year. Just share it with our audience.
The victory actually, and this is kind of the part that most people didn't see coming, which was rolled into the health bill, was called the SAFRA bill. The SAFRA bill, really since 1992, we've been working to try to utilize the funding that has been going to banks for processing and dealing with the student loans that our students get.
So if a student wants a loan, historically, he went to a bank, not the government.
Right. They go to a bank and they pick 1 to 3, or we send them 1 to 3 or 4 vendors, and then they go out and then they interact with the bank and then get the resources, which has led to numerous problems for our students. But more importantly, it's actually cost the federal government $10 billion a year in basically bank welfare that has gone to the banks.
Banks make a lot of money on these loans.
Banks
and they're risk-free because the government's.
It's the easiest loan a bank could make, because if the student goes into default, then the federal government picks up the default, so there's no risk at all.
So for years you were trying to get this changed so that the student would go directly to the federal government to get the loan.
We have been fighting for this because we know that the Department of Education can get it done, and in fact we've been trying to get this get the middle player out, which saves our students resources that they can use for their education, and it allows institutions to process their loans, their grants, and in a much more timely manner so that our students can get the resources when they need them. And this past, a couple months ago, with the passage of the health care legislation, $61 billion was saved for students going to higher education.
So that's $61 billion that's over a period of years is going out of the pockets of the banks and into student
It's going
loans.
into students and going into their educational needs and going to the institutions that serve them. And that was $10 billion a year over the next 9 years.
Wow.
So it's a savings of actually $87 billion.
Wow.
that was put into that package in the health care bill.
And that allows additional Pell Grants, for example.
That allows additional Pell Grant increases, but more importantly, it shores up our Pell Grants, because we have so many more students getting Pell Grants. The federal government wasn't sure where next year's Pell Grants were going to come from.
Other good news involves construction on the campus. Despite these budget constraints, some exciting things are happening on campus.
Well, we actually still have probably the largest construction program going in the history of our university. We have a $110 million science building that's ahead of schedule. It's scheduled to open either January through April of next year. That will really give us one of the best science complexes in the West Coast. The Student Recreational Wellness Center that our students passed a fee for themselves to create a facility for them for exercise, wellness, and health. It will be opened on August 1st, and it's a $70 million facility. And our new School of Nursing facility with 4 high-quality classroom and laboratories, which is right across the street from Brotman Hall. That building gets our nursing students, and we graduate about 350 nurses a year. And that gives them the type of quality facilities that they have been deserving for many, many years.
I know our nursing program historically has been impacted because of space and. But there are jobs, obviously, for nurses. I mean, you go through that. You go through that program. You're guaranteed a good job.
Their starting salaries are in the 80s, and they can go anywhere they want to go in the United States. I mean, they're so sought after that we just can't. We're the largest producer of nurses in the state of California.
Really?
And yet we still can't get enough out there.
Let's go back to the Wellness Center for because that is big. And who can use that, and how does that work?
Well, our students will have access to it just by paying their fees, the normal fees that they pay to go to school. So all they do is come in and swipe a card or show their ID, and they're in. They can use it, and it'll be open from 6 o'clock in the morning till midnight every day. Faculty and staff can join as well, and we'd like to see as many faculty and staff because we like to see that interaction. Any place we can get our faculty, staff, and students together, I think you build bonds and build lifetime bonds and networking, the type of experiences that our students, we want them to have when they leave this institution.
And one of the historical problems of this university, and as you know, I've been around here for, I'm embarrassed to say, 35 years, was it used to be known as the Mausoleum on the Hill. There was this wall between the town and the gown, and they were in their own world. But over the years, things have happened to bring the two together, and things like the Pyramid and the beautiful Carpenter Performing Arts Center, and now the Wellness Center. I mean, we want to reduce the commuter campus aspect of this university, give students more reasons to stay on campus, such as the Wellness Center.
Right.
I know you've put Starbucks in the library and done other things to try and make this more homey.
Well, we want our students here 7 days a week,
Yeah.
not just here for class. And we believe if our students just come here and go to class and leave and go about their business somewhere else, we believe they're only going to get about half of the collegiate experience that they normally would get. And it's about the friendships, it's about building networks, it's about interacting and understanding what other majors are and what professions and jobs that will lead to as well. So we want our students here 7 days a week. This facility will do more than any single facility that we have besides the student union to welcome our students here 7 days a week.
Amen to that, and we'll be back with more with the Prez after these messages. Stay with us.
Phil Trainees mixes California style with continental cuisine that includes fresh seafood from around the world. Since Phil is the chef, the menu has a wide variety of pastas, salads, soups, and appetizers that feature his unique personal touch. And the Italian-American signature dishes are simply beyond delicious. You never know who you're going to run into at Trainees, from the famous sports legends on the Wall of Fame to local celebrities having a drink at the bar. For the best fine dining experience, visit Phil Trainees.
At Performance Plus Tire, you'll find we carry Toyo tires. For over 50 years, Toyo has been a world leader in the development of high-quality tires. Optimum performance, safety, and a comfortable ride. That's what makes Toyo tires great. And now come into Performance Plus Tire for a great deal on these Toyo tires. Proxys ST, Open Country AT, and Proxys 4. Toyo tires, driven to perform. Come in today and we'll install new Toyo tires on your vehicle while you wait. Performance Plus Tire on Cherry Avenue, 1 mile north of the 405 in Long Beach.
When I was a boy growing up in Italy, I had a dream to own my own store. I came to the United States and I worked hard as a tailor. Hi, I'm Umberto. I've been in Long Beach since 1960, carrying the finest quality men's clothing. Italy's a long way away, but styles are just around the corner. Umberto, 2141 Bellflower, Long Beach.